This is Emma Clark recording her video teaching for Ed 426. Today we are in a 4th grade classroom learning about unit fractions. We are going to focus on using these fractions in real-world situations. Today we are going to start off by introducing English language proficiency standards. We have 4 that we are going to focus on. These are to participate in grade level oral and written exchanges of information and ideas, and responding to peer, audience, or reader comments and questions. Construct grade level oral and written claims and support them with reason and evidence. The third, to conduct research and evaluate and communicate findings to answer questions and solve problems. And the last one is to adapt language choices to purpose, task, or audience when speaking or writing. We also have a few Common Core standards that we are focusing on today, and these are to understand the addition and subtraction process while joining and separating these as wholes. The second is to decompose a fraction into a sum of fractions with the same denominator, recording each decomposition. And the third is to solve word problems involving addition and subtraction. We also have 3 learning targets today, and these are that students will be able to identify and describe what a unit fraction is. Students will be able to record their process on paper through words, images, or numbers, and students will be able to add and subtract unit fractions. Today we are going to activate background knowledge from students by using a KWL chart and brainstorming the ideas of what we know where fractions come from. The KWL chart is going to focus on what students know about fractions already from previous years of experience. We will also focus on what they want to know from the lesson, any questions or thoughts they have about these fractions. And then after the lesson, we will finish up the L section and discuss what they had learned from the lesson. So today I'm going to present you the activities and centers that the students completed for this lesson. These centers involve real-world situations where fractions may come in hand. The first center is fraction bowling. This is a center where students will focus on creating fractions and recording them, and then creating equations with these fractions. So students will start off the center by grabbing a partner and going to a bowling set. And then they will have these recording sheets in which they will show that they have 10 sets of pins for 3 turns. Each student will take 3 sets of turns to complete this set. Each turn they will record the amount of pins that they've hit. Only the amount of pins that they've hit over will they color in. And so let's say that I took a turn and I hit 6, and so I will color 6 pins in, and then I will create a fraction. And so there's a box next to it where you'll create the fraction, and so 10 pins is our denominator and 6 is my numerator, and so I have 6 tens. And then once they've completed the sheet, they will turn it around to the back, in which there are spots for them to create equations. They will create these equations by taking their original whole fraction, so 10 pins, so 1 whole, 10 out of 10. And then they will subtract their score, and so an example, 6 out of 10, and we'll be left with a new equation, the answer for their equation, which is 4 out of 10, so 4 tenths. That is the first center that they will complete. Then they will complete the second center, which is sorting M&Ms. In this center, students will have their own set of M&Ms and will open up the package and dump them and sort them through color. And so typically the M&Ms have the same colors for each package, and they will write these colors down on this sheet. For each color, the students will have to count how many M&Ms of each kind there are. So 5 red, 8 yellow, etc. Once they have counted each color and how many there are, they will have to create a fraction. This will allow them to add up each amount to figure out the total and then create the fraction this way. This is the completion of this center. The third center is fraction basketball. Again, they will be asked to grab a partner and complete this task. They will have a similar worksheet like the bowling one, in which they will have to color in their scores. So in fraction basketball, it's similar where they will take 4 turns, and in each turn they get 4 turns. And so depending on their score and how many baskets they make, they will color it in. So let's say I only made 2 baskets. I will only color 2 baskets in, and then create a fraction in the box next to it. Once I have completed this side of the sheet, we will turn it over and complete the other side. And again, this is very similar. They will have areas to complete the 4 equations for the 4 fractions. And again, we will start off with an original fraction, which is the total amount of times they can score, which is 4. So 1 whole, or 4 out of 4. They will subtract their recorded equation, so 2 out of 4, and then figure out a new total, so 2 out of 4, so half. And then this will be the completion of this center. And so I had a few students complete this, and we have their work with me today, so we can quickly take a look at some examples. We'll look at the first center, which is bowling. We can see that this student recorded their answers, and they did pretty well. They recorded 3 bowling pins and then 3 tenths, 1 and 1/10, and 2 and 2/10. So if we turn around to the back, we can see that she solved her equation. She had 10 tenths, or 1 whole, minus 2 tenths, which left her with 8 tenths. We can also look at examples from the second center, in which students recorded their colors, the amount they found of each color, and their new fraction of the total and each color amount. We can also look at the third center and see that the students colored in the fraction of what they scored, so 1, and then their fraction, so 1/4, and again 2 and 2/4, so 1/2. And then you go on the back, and we can see that the students were able to create equations. So they took the total, so 4 out of 4, they subtracted their score, so 2/4, and they got a new fraction, 1/4. So this is the overall view of our activity that we completed, in which we used fractions in real world situations. Today we are going to check for understanding through an assessment. Our assessment will be considered the exit task for the lesson. During the exit task, they will be asked to identify and answer a few questions. So they will complete the exit task by reading and reflecting on the target. So the target is restated in the exit slip, which is being able to describe and understand fractions while using them in a real world situation and world problem. They will reflect on this and ask themselves how they did. They will focus on if they did well, what they did well on, what confused them, or any questions they might have. Depending on how they feel, they will color in one of 6 faces that describes how they feel. They could be very upset to not upset at all. And if they need to circle in more than one, they're allowed to. So they will complete that, and then they will look on the bottom and read the questions about any kind of concerns they might have. In this opportunity, they can express how they feel, what they did not like about the lesson, what they did like about the lesson. And then they will have the opportunity to suggest any new ideas for our future lessons. This is the overall view of my fraction unit lesson for 4th grade. We have focused on using fractions in the real world situations like basketball, bowling, and sorting M&Ms. Students were able to complete the worksheets properly, and they had a lot of fun, and the targets were clearly met. Students were able to brainstorm ideas, and they will be assessed through their exit tickets. Today has been a great day. We will focus more on these goals and these targets through further research and this discussion in more real-world opportunities throughout the week. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.